Hello friends, welcome. Friends, you all know that Airtel has recently launched IPTV services in 2000 cities. And during this earnings call, Gopal Vittal was asked a question that if you have launched IPTV services, do you think that because of this IPTV services growing and expanding to so many millions home, will your DTH business is going to get hit? And if it is going to get hit, in what form, and what you see the potential of DTH business? Now Gopal Vittal respond to this question, and I'm going to play out this inter exchange between the analyst and Gopal Vittal, and then in this video I'm going to explain what kind of regulatory disparity that exists between DTH and other models of delivery of broadcast content, and why it exists, and why regulators fail to resolve this disparity. Because all verticals should be treated alike, because every vertical has a role to play, and you will hear Gopal saying why DTH, relevance of DTH still exists, right? So let's hear what the question was and what kind of response Gopal gave, and then I'm going to take you through my presentation.
How do you see the future of this business? Like if 80-90 million high-income households shift to home broadband, IPTV, will this service lose relevance in coming years?
Yeah, I think this is a big conundrum. I think because if you look at the DTH industry, it's been going through its moment of reckoning, and for many reasons. I mean, it's not just the legitimate reasons of technology disruption, because those are good reasons. I mean, if there's new technology that's coming in, whether it's through the form of IPTV plus broadband, which means connected boxes, and that puts pressure on DTH, which is just the traditional sort of mode of linear television, then I think it's a very good outcome. But the challenge in this business is less to do with just technology disruption. It's also more to do with what we've done to it, which means, the regulatory posture that today operates in this market, where you've got, assume that there are three homes living side by side next to each other, one served by DTH, one served by cable, and one served by broadband. Each of these homes has different regulatory constructs. So the DTH business, or the DTH, regulation, has sort of price that is fixed. It has certain cross-holding restrictions where, the content player can't have also sort of investments in the distribution pipe. Cable has a slightly different set of restrictions. And when it comes to broadband, it's absolutely free for all. There are no regulations whatsoever.
See, broadband, there is free for all, no regulation. Then he talks about the potential of the DTL business, and I'm going to play from there, right? So let me just start here.
So these are some of the other headwinds that the industry is facing. My own view is that there will still be an opportunity for DTH, because home broadband will not get to every single home in India. I mean, there are 260, 270 million homes. There'll be probably 150, 160 million TV homes. We are potentially talking over the next 5 years of broadband homes getting to maybe 75 to 80 million.
So friends, he says that broadband is not going to go to each and every home, and I will agree. But I will go a little further. Even if broadband goes to every home, which is 75 to 80 million that he's talking about, that broadband connection is not going to replicate what DTH can replicate. And let me tell you, friends, why. Because if you are using DTH, is a TV which is shared among all your household, and it is running continuously. Let's say for 6 hours, 7 hours, you generally keep your TV on. If you keep your broadband connections on and you are going to watch high definition TV, let me tell you that 1 terabyte of data, that is the cap for home broadband for a reasonable connection that you have, will get exhausted in no time. So for me, broadband is not a replacement for DTH. It is a replacement for TV on demand or maybe video on demand, but it is not a broadcast medium. It is wrongly portrayed. Let me tell you this. Nobody is going to use broadband for continuous watching for 12 hours. His whole broadband connection is going to crash. His data, whatever data that he has, is going to get exhausted in no time. So friends, let's go straight to my presentation to tell you this difference in regulatory construct that Gopal is talking about, the history behind it, And what TRAI and other regulators and other licensing agencies like MIB and DOT has failed to resolve. And they have created this disparity, which has killed a very important vertical, which has contributed to getting TV to so many million homes, and will continue to do so, as Gopal was saying. So what is the real problem? Let me tell you what is the real problem. People have not looked at this in this lens which I am going to present before you, because there are so many regulations, there are so many documents, people get confused. And friends, the problem is that this issue was debated in courts. The OTT players went to court, the cable players went to court against OTT and they failed. And the court gave a judgment in favor of OTT. We are going to talk about that also, why OTT got scot-free, and actually there were no legal intervention which happened against OTT in the sector. And OTT is completely unregulated. It does not have any kind of encumbrance on the TRAI NTO, the tariff order, and it does not have to pay any license fee. So what is the real problem? Let's understand this. India never defined what constitutes a TV channel across platform. That's the real problem. You have never defined what is TV channel, right? If you had defined what is TV channel, this problem would not have happened, this unequal regulation. And this is more historical in nature. Let's understand. Regulation is always tied to delivery method, that is satellite, not content function. Courts ruled OTT platform don't qualify as TV channel under TRAI rules, because TRAI never defined what a TV channel is. And you will understand this a little bit more in depth as I take you through the presentation. The result is OTT platform escaped all TRAI obligation despite offering same service. So this is the real problem, friends. They have never defined what TV channel is, which is very strange. This is a fundamental thing any regulator should have done. And this is because of historical reason. There was no need to define. Because earlier what used to happen, there was a satellite was the only medium, cable was the only medium, the form factor was also stationary, there was no alternative to change the bitrate, etc. So there was no need to define. So they were continuing with the same old archaic regulation. And generally in India happens, nobody takes the, ownership or, to do something completely different, which is out of the league. So they will continue to follow the same league, and therefore broadcast, you can say that the broadcast sector is victim of our historical reason, because the technology has changed so drastically, the regulation could not catch up to those changes. So no platform neutral definition for broadcasting service. So what does it mean? DTH, cable, IPTV and OTT deliver similar channels but are treated differently. That you all know. Definitions are tied to downlinking permission. What does it mean? So there was a downlinking guideline, right, for MIB, which said that a broadcaster, which is downlinking satellite TV channels, which is coming from the satellite media, can deliver their channels to only these platforms. So there was a downlinking guidelines, and that's how this TV channel, the definition of TV channel was anchored around downlinking guidelines. But what constitutes a TV channel was never stated by anybody. So court sided with OTT due to absence of inclusive platform neutral definition. What is the QS is the blind spot. No standard standard for TV experience, because ultimately it's all about experience, right? When you talk about a channel, if the channel is hazy, right, there are lines coming out on the channels, it does not give you that kind of HD experience or 4K experience. And there are different variety of channels, because of it can be shown in a very big form factor, a small form factor, a medium form factor. You don't define them, then how can you regulate that service with no definition? So TRAI hasn't defined resolution, bitrate, frame rate or audio standard. There are no definition. Even the form factor is not defined, right? Which form factor this service is going to get delivered, because every form factor will have a different experience. No baseline to ensure experience, example 720p, 1080p, 4K consistency, right? Or maybe higher. Enables OTT to market HD or TV without meeting any technical quality. So OTT can say that, I am giving you TV channel and that channel may not meet any of these standards, right? It may be lowest quality channel, but it is going to be treated as a TV channel, and therefore they get away without making any technical quality. Consumer can't differentiate real quality, and regulators don't enforce it, right? So that is the key problem, friends. The crux of the problem is the definition, friends, which is missed out in all our discourse, right? So, but the TRA actually had the opportunity now, because of this new Telecommunication Act. There was a February 2025 recommendation of TRAI, which was giving, the TRA wanted to give recommendation of our ground-based broadcasting options. Now, today we have satellite-based broadcasting option, and also ground-based broadcasting means using 5G, optical fiber. That also becomes a vehicle for carrying your TV channels and aggregating in one particular place and then delivering it to various homes using different delivery method, right? Earlier, satellite was only medium. Now you can use ground-based mediums also. Since there was no regulation around ground-based broadcasting mediums or anchoring or integration, TRA was asked to do that, and TRA came out with a recommendation in February 2025, and it missed the opportunity to fix this problem. Why? MIB explicitly asked TRAI to a level playing field between platforms, because MIB knew that different platforms have got different kind of regulatory construct, which Gopal was saying. For example, IPTV via ISP have 8% license fee. IPTV via MSO, so the same IPTV via ISP will 8% license fee. IPTV via MSO is 0% license fee, right? And then we have got OTT with 0% license fee, cable TV with 0% license fee. So there are different platforms with 0% license fee, and the DTH has 8% license fee, right? So TRA ignored the license fee disparity and shifted the responsibility on MIB. He said that, look, TRA was supposed to give an integrated recommendation to MIB because MIB asked TRA to do that, but it completely ignored the request of MIB and gave a recommendation in saying that, look, the Cable TV Act has not been dismantled, because as long as the Cable TV Act exists, under which all this medium MSO, IPTV under the MIB regime exist. Therefore, unless you dismantle that, I can't do anything. But the TRA was supposed to give a very clear-cut recommendation that, look, this is the fundamental way to solve the problem, because it's a technical regulator, right? But they did not do anything. No action on harmonizing definition or licensing across platform. So what DRI should have done? Define TV channel based on functionality and user experience. Must meet resolution, bitrate, and reliability threshold. Because if you do not meet resolution, bitrate, and reliability threshold, what service you are offering? Tell me. You need to, if my form factor is a big screen and it is hazy, or it does not show up, or it shows up in high resolution, both these services have to be different, right? So you need to lay out certain standard of delivery, right? Which is the end service, how it looks. Nobody talks about that, right? Any platform meeting that threshold should follow a common regulation, because it is the service which you are experiencing, not the delivery platform. So this is the fundamental problem which no regulator is resolving. And then we are beating around the bush. This would have brought OTT, DTH, cable TV, IPTV under a unified platform. So that is, and then the courts could have acted and said that, look, if OTT is qualifying these criteria, which has been set by TRAI, and you are delivering on a same form factor which can be used to even watch DTH, then it has to be under the same regulatory platform, right or not, right? So this should have been done. So the current regulatory differences: one service, multiple laws. DTH and IPTV via ISP, 8% license fee, NTO pricing, QoS and interconnection obligation of TRI, though the QoS does not even define what a service is. It talks about different other parameters on QoS, which are also important, but the bit rate, the quality, how it looks are important. It is not defined. IPTV via MSO, Cable TV Act, 0% license fee, NTO pricing, and minimal QoS rules. So these platforms at least had NTO pricing, which is the TRI framework of pricing TV channel. But OTT, there is no license, no fees, no QoS, no interconnection rules, and no NTO. So it is completely. And then on top of it, you have got DD free dish, free spectrum, no license fee, no service quality mandate. So in a situation like this, how can DTH survive? DTH is surviving only because of only one reason. The other platform does not have the reach and the capability to deliver what DTH is delivering. That is the reason why, which I explained to you, that even if you have broadband and if you want to meet DTH like quality, your broadband data, which has been capped at 1 terabytes, right? Which you might have seen. If you go to, you can see that, your broadband service, they say unlimited data. It is not unlimited data. If Bharti explicitly says that, they have capped it at 1 terabyte. But Reliance Jio does not say that. They say that if your 800 rupees broadband plan unlimited data, it's not unlimited data. And try do a calculation. You will find that your overall threshold of 1 terabyte is going to get exhausted if you are going to use your IPTV connection or the broadband connection similar way which you use DTH, which is running for the full day. Your cricket match is going on in 4K and everybody is watching for 8 hours. You will not be able to, do any broadband work on that connection because everything will get consumed because of DTH, right? Or because of your linear TV or what kind of a sports event or any other event that you're using, because your TV is continuously on, right? So conclusion, fix it now or lose the broadcasting sector, right? It is continuously under big pressure because if the broadcasting sector is not healthy and then the overall framework is set such a way that the pie is kind of eaten away by some other delivery medium which has a lower cost structure, definitely the overall sector is going to face a lot of pressure, business pressure. So we have to have DTH, IPTV, which are shrinking due to regulatory burden, not consumer rejection, right? So we have to fix this problem. OTT and free dish flourish under regulatory vacuum. TRAI must define TV channels by output and user experience, not medium. Only a platform-neutral, performance-based rules can restore fairness and viability. So, friends, I think you probably understand what the problem which Gopal was describing and why this problem persists. Because what Gopal did not talk about is why this problem persists. And what I told you in this presentation is that what is the fundamental problem which regulators are not seeing? They are not defining what the service is. If you don't define, you will not get any respite from any courts, because court will go with the law of the land. If they say that, look, this definition of TV channel, OTT does not fall within that particular definition, then they will say OTT is not a TV channel, right? This is exactly what TDSAT did. So that's all, friends, in this video. I hope that you like this video, and I thought that I'll do a little bit of digression on a different topic, which is also very important because entertainment is a very important sector, and we have to ensure that the rules in the entertainment sector are also set in such a way that the business organically grows on strength rather than on regulatory arbitrage. So thank you, friends, for your time and listening till the end. I'll come back with a new video on a new topic next time. Thank you very much.